Back, we continue right here with the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call on the Bordas and Bordas Hotline. You can be part of the conversation as well by calling that number. Bob Pompeani and Ron Cook with you. And Ron, I want to ask you about Malcolm Butler, who was on the field at the national anthem, seemed to be emotional, and he must have known then he wasn't going to play. He played 97% of the snaps in the secondary. He was their shutdown guy, at least one of them with Gilmore, and yet he didn't play. Did Belichick outsmart himself with this, and why did he not play?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing we don't know. I mean, if he did something really heinous, I mean, could they have sent him home, I guess, instead of having him on the sideline? You know, I heard some stories say he was late for curfew or something, but, man, you punish him and you punish the whole team. You're punishing Tom Brady and Gronkowski. And I get it. You got to have rules, and I know he's a stickler for that stuff, but maybe it certainly contributed to costing him the game if that's what it was. Now, maybe he did something, Butler, that he had absolutely no choice but to bench him. But then if it was so bad, why didn't they just send him home and not even dress him?
One other thing, and that would be the issue with Nick Foles, who was superb in this postseason, some of the best numbers you're going to find of any quarterback all time in terms of playoff games, and yet he is a backup. And yet, in my opinion, he should stay a backup. Last night we had a pretty spirited debate on the Showdown. Your partner with the Cook and Pony Show, Andrew Filipponi, seemed to think that Foles should be the #1 guy, and I just don't see that. How do you feel?
I don't either. You know, Wentz was going to be the MVP of the league until he got hurt with, what, 3 games left, and most people that I talk to consider him to be the best quarterback in the game right now, and that's including Aaron Rodgers and Brady, and he's only a second-year guy. Foles had a great 2-game postseason run here, but there's no way he's the starter over Carson Wentz, as long as Wentz healthy. Now, he's coming off a knee surgery. I mean, let's see where he is at the start of training camp. But if he's healthy at the start of training camp, he's absolutely my starter. And I keep Foles around as a backup because you never know. He's signed for 1 more year at a decent price.
Yeah, maybe so, but I also think the trade market will be pretty active for guys who need quarterbacks, and there are a slew of teams, the Jets, the Broncos, the Browns, you name them. Woody on Twitter says, how do you trade Foles now? I don't think you can. He's played his best game in the biggest moments. No guarantee Wentz could do the same. He agrees with you. Let's go out to the lines, beginning with Jeff in Latrobe. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, Bob. All right. Hey, you're looking very Cary Grant-like in your attire as usual, and Ron is just looking as well, Ron. But, yeah, I don't know if this has crossed your mind, but it's kind of another sobering thought that Coach Belichick and Mr. Brady are only 1 Super Bowl loss behind Marv Levy and Jim Kelly. Something to think about.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting you say that, because if Pete Carroll didn't outsmart himself and run Marshawn Lynch instead of throwing that ball, they would have lost that game in the last year, Ron. If Atlanta had just done the right things, they would have had.
Yeah, Bob, but I don't play those ifs.
I do.
If David Tyree doesn't catch a miracle pass off his helmet, they win that game. If Mario Manningham doesn't make a miracle catch on the sideline, they win that game. Usually you get what you deserve. They're 5-3 in Super Bowls. I'd much rather be 5-3 than 4-0 like Chuck Noll, because that means you got the 8 of them. It's hard to get to him. I never bought the fact that Marv Levy couldn't ever win the big game. You know how many big games you have to win to get to 4 Super Bowls? A lot of big games.
No, I agree with you.
And so, I mean, I don't think 5-3 tarnishes their record. It's not 8-0.
I didn't say that. What I said was last year you're up 25 points with 5 minutes left.
But they won the game. They came back and won the game.
But Atlanta contributed to that quite a bit, and I don't think that should be over.
So Tyree catches one off his helmet, and that's a deserved New York win.
No, there were other plays in that game that should have gone the other way. Let's
you
go
get
to
what
Harry.
you deserve.
Harry in West
Hello
Virginia.
there. How are you, my
What's up,
friend?
Harry?
Hey, listen, you know what? This is beautiful to see Fleury coming back like this. I remember as a young child, but Michel Briere passed away, and he was the beloved French Canadian, and really brought, as a young kid in my heart, brought the game to myself. I just appreciated it, and it's just good to see another French Canadian coming back here, and us to give a lot of love back to him.
Yeah, Michel Briere never got a chance. He was number 21. His numbers up the rafters, but that's a shame. Fleury, I don't know why you, other than they're French Canadians, why you brought that up, but
I don't know either.
I don't know, but hey, I appreciate that. Let's go out to line 4. That's Rob in the Hill District. Hey, Rob, how you doing?
All right, Bob. Hey, listen, if Jim Rutherford's able to land a third-line center like the dude from Ottawa, and he's going to have to give up a defenseman in that deal. And another defenseman, I don't see no team beating the Penguins in those 4-game series in the playoffs. I just don't see it. What you think?
Well, first of all, you're making that trade like Ottawa would just give away Jean-Gabriel Pageau. They're not going to do that. There are a lot of guys they'd like to have, and he's come close to making a couple of deals, and the other team has pulled out, Ron. It's February 26th. I would imagine if he's going to make a deal, it'll be for the 26th. He won't make it on that day.
That's literally 3 weeks from today. So I expect the roster to be different. I think he's going to do something. I don't know if it's going to be major. He certainly likes the way they've been playing. I don't think anybody liked the way they played at Jersey on Saturday night, but that was a tough game coming off of Washington, the emotion in that, and then you're going to Jersey to play that team, and it's very hard to get going emotionally again. So I would expect tomorrow night to be a real strong performance for the Penguins.
I would too, and I think that New Jersey game fell at the wrong time for them with the schedule. After the Capitals, that was an emotional game, and knowing Fleury and the Vegas Golden Knights are coming in, that's difficult as well. All right, let's go back to the Lions. One more before we go to break, and that would be Rick in Etna. Hello, Rick.
Hello. I'd like to talk about why doesn't the Steelers consider signing the quarterback for Philly that just won the Super Bowl?
Because Roethlisberger has said he's going to play for another 3 years.
And Foles is signed for another year with Philadelphia.
You can still trade for him, but the point is
he's not
they don't
a free
need him.
agent, so yeah, they don't need him right now.
If you're going to do that, are you suggesting he would start here?
Well, if Brett Ben leaves, I figure, and if the running back leaves, we have a lot of money, and this guy proves himself.
Where's Ben going to go?
Already.
He said he wants to play for another 3 years.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere for a while.
All right, we got to take a break. We have Tim, we have Mark, we have Mary Kay all coming up next right here live on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, only here on Pittsburgh CW.